So, return trip to Iowa for you for the Clay County Fair. It's been a while since you've been here. Nice to be back.
Absolutely. You know, of all the county fairs or all the fairs that I've worked at, this is literally, and I think I've said this before in an interview, my favorite fair to work, because I think they're the nicest people. To get crowds at 11:30 in the morning, even the first time I was here was at 10:30, and I didn't think that many people. It's 700 people, you know, at a 10:30 show. And that's just awesome, and they support it, and that's what I love about coming to a fair that people actually love coming to. Yeah, you know, and our stage is a free stage, so I mean, it's not like they're paying to go to the grandstand. They're coming to the free stage, and sometimes at a lot of fairs, it's not. Sometimes that's not the best entertainment, but they do a great job of pairing the entertainment with the type of crowds that they have, and that's what I love. That's why I love coming here.
You know, later in the week, the temperatures are supposed to be in the 75, 72 range, but it seems like every time you're here, you bring the heat with you.
I know.
So what's that all about? Because half of your show you're talking about the freezing cold weather up here, but every time you come, we're getting hit with a heat wave.
And it doesn't. I mean, it bothers me a little bit, but it forces me to talk about the cold because they're complaining about the heat. It's like, I've been here. I know what's coming. You know what's coming, but somehow or another, you rather complain about it being 90 than it being 50 below. So it helps me make the contrast in between the temperatures and how I think they'd rather have it cold than hot. And I'm just opposite.
Right.
Exactly. It could be worse. I mean, it's like, for me, this is good stuff. I mean, and like I said, it writes itself. The material just writes itself when I'm up on stage there, and it's just so nice.
You talk about it, the kind of some parting words at the end of the show for the people who've been born and raised here,
right, and
don't realize there's an alternative.
Yeah, you can leave. You can leave. Move. I mean, it's like people are born and raised in the Midwest, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I don't think you appreciate it until you go somewhere else and come back. You know, you don't realize some of the things that you say and do that no one else say and do that I find so humorous. You know, and then because you go other places, they just don't say that. Like I spent a lot of time in Arizona, and people don't brag. Like people from Arizona don't brag that it's a dry heat. It's 120-degree desert heat. I don't care if it's wet or dry. That's hot. That's like having a personal dragon breathing on you all day. But in Minnesota, when it's cold, they be like, well, at least it's not snowing. you know, they find the good in what's bad about the weather. You know.
Well, you've been here for 3 days now. This is your last day at the fair. Anything that you picked up while you were here that would be good material for your show?
Oh, everything that I pick up here is good material for my show. I think the whole thing of just watching the people come to the fair, the traffic, you know, and they're so patient, because if you go to the Minnesota State Fair and see people in line to get in the fair, their arms are wailing. These people, they sit in line, they're like 80 cars deep, and they got nothing to worry about. I'm going to be at the fair all day. You know, I just love that, and I talked about that last night at my last show, because I saw the traffic, and I saw the people, and I drove right on by them because I come into a special gate, and I felt bad. I felt like I should have got in line. And they also like, oh, no, that's okay. And I was like, really? You know, they're just so nice about everything. And that's why I bring that back with me when I travel around the country, and that's what I do really talk about more than the weather, is the attitude of the people of the Midwest. You know, as opposed to when I'm out east, and the attitude of the people out east.
Fantastic. Thanks, Willie.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure being here, and I always tell them if I'm ever invited back, I'll be back. You know, so I love coming here.
Great.